One man's meat is another man's poison. Facundo Pellistri seen as surplus to requirements at Manchester United, yet for Panathinaikos they are willing to pay over 5 million quid for him. I'll give you more details of that deal that is almost sealed. I'll tell you more about more departures, including Jadon Sancho, who is once out of Man United. PSG want him, more clubs want him, but United want 40 million quid. Question is, who is going to pay that? And his wages, high wages. I've got details on the solution that the club is trying to forge. Now, meanwhile, another player, an important player, I should say, in terms of youngsters, Hannibal Mejbri as well, is not settled at Man United, and a loan move away is being considered, but this time with an obligation to buy him. I'll give you all those details in just a bit. Like, share, and subscribe. My name is Webb, but I know the most important update you all must be thinking of is Manuel Ugarte. Is he coming? That's all we want to hear. And honestly, even that's what I want to hear, but you cannot force it. It will happen when it has to, at the time it has got to happen. And trust you me, it will be the right time, because any time is Ugarte time. Can I be honest? I feel like it's been a while since unanimously the whole Man United fraternity did accept that this one player is the best player for a position. I don't think so many people have reservations about Ugarte and what he can do. I feel like there is a whole collective belief in Ugarte and what he can do to solve our number 6 problem, which I love. And you think that's good energy for him to arrive, with all that love and expectation and positivity. I feel like, it's a good thing to see. People are sharing videos about him, doing the donkey work, fighting for balls, and eating grass and somersaulting and stuff, winning balls back to serve his colleagues who then advance it. That is what I love about him. He does the dirty work and is humble enough not to try to be so smart. Just do the simple thing, pass to the better ball players. The Kobe is now at Man United. The Brunos, that's the number 6 we need. And I'm glad that most of you see it. But and loan move is being discussed. The details we'll get, of course, when that deal is confirmed, and soon it will be, trust me on that one. But the beautiful updates coming through now are that departures are being worked on left, right, and center. Hannibal Mejbri is believed to be wanted by Burnley. They have inquired, they have made contact with Man United of a possible loan move, but with an obligation to buy him from Manchester United. That is Hannibal Mejbri, and obviously, I feel like this would be a better loan deal for him, honestly. I think most of our youngsters are good enough to be in the Premier League, rather to be in English football, or even in the Premier League. Well, whereas Burnley were relegated, my feeling is that playing in the Championship is better than playing in a team like Granada, where Facundo Pellistri was. I feel like the English second tier is more competitive than most of the top divisions in outside of England. So if a player has been knocking on the door of Man United's first team, if he's not good enough, loan him to a Championship side like we did to Amad Diallo. And I thought the time at Sunderland is the time he needed to become more, more stoic, more solid, and it made him a man. I feel like Hannibal Mejbri as well needs that at that time, and it doesn't have to be for us that, because I know he might move on, but I'm very sure the kind of deal we've negotiated, because the loan that United are trying to perhaps go into with Burnley is a loan move with an obligation to buy. So you would say we don't care, but we should care, because if he plays well and they buy him, a bigger club buys him from Burnley, we will negotiate a sell-on clause. For example, a 50%, for example, like we did for Kambwala, for Willie Kambwala, like we did for Mason Greenwood, like we have done for Facundo Pellistri. Now, speaking of Facundo Pellistri, a deal has been struck between Panathinaikos and Manchester United. He's going to be joining for 6 million euros, that's just over 5.1 million pounds, but with a sell-on clause of between 40 to 45% for Man United. So deals today have what they call sell-on clauses, especially for young players who you believe in the future could be worth a lot of money. So United can still negotiate that kind of deal with Burnley for Hannibal Mejbri, and I believe, for me, we've not seen the best of him. He will be returning to the Premier League in a bigger club very soon. So I think it wouldn't be a bad loan move for Hannibal. I think Facundo Pellistri being sold to Panathinaikos, maybe Panathinaikos feels a bit far away from England, honestly. Not so many people think about that league, but the reality is, first of all, Greek guys have their money. The money is there. So if it's about money, from his £50,000 that was earning at United per week, he will earn decent at Panathinaikos. He will play games. He will be loved. But also, I think the fact that the coach of Panathinaikos is his countryman, I think also worked. He's a Uruguayan coach, so it also worked to try and attract him because you want to go where you're loved, honestly, if you're going to try and push for the best. So he's a young player. My feeling is it's not the end of the world for him. It's actually a good place for him to calm down and play the football of his life, apply all the things he's learned from Man United because it's an opportunity to be in Man United. And as a young player, there's always going to be a lot you can learn and you can take elsewhere, wherever else you go. So for me, no issues with it. Now, Jadon Sancho is the other, of course, player we want out, and we know that PSG are interested. Now, Chelsea still are hoping to go in and, of course, try to start talks, for him. I am not sure Chelsea would sell a player like Raheem Sterling or let go of Raheem Sterling and then bring in a Jadon Sancho because they're almost on the same wages, almost at the same state. Because Jadon Sancho wants to be playing at a club where he'll be starting, he'll be a starter. I don't see him being an out-and-out definite starter at Chelsea. I don't see that happening. So my feeling is PSG will be the best destination for him. Whether alone, whichever way they structure the move for me, I think PSG will be the best destination for Jadon Sancho. At PSG, he would start. I will tell you, he would boss that French league. Now you can imagine PSG having him and Olympique Marseille having Mason Greenwood. I feel like there would be some bit of fire in that league. That maybe has not been there for quite some time because always the best players are all in PSG. So my feeling is Sancho, yes, Chelsea could be serious about trying to talk, about a move of a loan spell and an obligation to buy or what have you. But for me, even for Sancho himself, I don't think Chelsea will be the best option if he wants to be playing more. Scott McTominay uh, is a very sellable asset for Manchester United. We know that Fulham dropped out of it. But United are still looking for solutions. Napoli are still there. They're still in the conversation. It is believed that Crystal Palace too hold an interest in him. So these coming days will decide whether or not they will leave. But I think before the end of this summer, before we bring in Ugarte, before the arrival of Ugarte, perhaps 2 or 3 players would have left because even Christian Eriksen has been offered to Ajax. 5 million quid is what United would want. So even Anderlecht had shown interest in him. So my feeling is that in the coming days, we should be confirming some important departures that will make way for the mighty Don Manuel Ugarte, Don Manuel, to come in and take his place as the number 6 to steer our ship to solidity, to firmness, to being, proper hard guys, bit hard to penetrate, but very easy to score goals because that's all that we need. He will be the fulcrum, and all these ball players are just dancing around him, keeping you firm. The number 6, if you have a good number 6, easily, they are always going to be your most important player. The number 6. Good number 6 is the linchpin on which the whole game spins. So you have a good number 6, you have a good squad. Trust you me. So very important, a signing that is bound to be. So that's a bit of an update concerning Man United and what's going on. Of course, later on, after Ugarte, we will be perhaps getting into the talk of a left back because there are still people who feel we should be bringing in a left back now in this summer. Maybe that would be making way too many signings, but still, you think about it and saying, probably it's better you sign all the players you want if you can in one summer and concentrate on building the team. Yeah, that's another way to look at it. Well, there are people who say if you sign so many players, it's affecting the squad, it take time to gel. I think for Man United, we are in a proper rebuilding phase. So even if we overhaul the entire squad, if we had to, it wouldn't really be the worst thing to do because we are in that phase where we are rebuilding this squad. So if we can afford to bring in even a left back to add on to Manuel Ugarte and most probably Sofiane Amrabat, who is waiting on us, I don't think that would be the worst thing to do. I think it's a good way for Ineos to start and we focus on making it work. The gray areas will be identified and sorted in the future. That's what's going on. My name is Webb. Like, share, subscribe. Peace, love, and harmony. Let me catch you later.